On April 4th, we were planning on doing an inspection, the first inspection of the corner hive. We were going to do that in the afternoon, but about noontime, our plans changed. This is what we found. This video is going to give you some information, and we're going to entitle it Aftermath of a Swarm, so that gives you an indication of what actually happened. I'll show you some of the videos we took, and then I'll go into the inspection that actually is the aftermath. So here we go. We interrupt this video for a special swarm coverage. Let's go to the field. Here we are in the backyard, and the bees are swarming all over the place. Just a cloud of bees. Now let's move to the front of the hive to see what's going on there. As you can see, the bees are coming out in mass. You can see other bees flying, looking back at the landing board, trying to determine if they're ready to swarm and if the queen has left. What you'll see this often is the bees will just swarm out, boil out like this, and wait for the queen to emerge. If the queen does come out, then the entire swarm that we saw in the cloud before will actually follow the queen or take the queen and go with the queen and go to a bivouac location. But at this point, we have not seen the queen, so we'll continue to look here for just a moment. Lots of bee activity, lots of bees. This is really interesting. I've never caught this view before. Now, let's go to a different view. These are from Arlo cameras showing this hive at the same time. You can see all of the bees all over the landing board flying around, and we'll watch this as it continues on every few moments. You'll see the sun angle changes, so you can tell there is something going on. The bees are all over the front of the hive. They're just clinging together, hanging onto the edge of the hive, bearding, and waiting to see what's going to happen. As we continue to watch, we'll notice changes here as the bees settle down and stop the swarming mechanism. This leads us to believe that the swarm has already moved on, and this is the remainder of what bees are left. Again, a little bit later, you can see the bees are more calm. They're still bearding out front, but they're not flying. They're not as erratic as they were before. And let's just watch a little bit more here as they continue to calm down. This is such an interesting thing to watch, as swarms are so fascinating from those of us who follow bees and keep bees. Let's go to the next time frame. You can see the bearding is less. The bees on the front of the hive are even less. So this will continue to diminish as time goes on. But it's frustrating in that we lost a lot of bees from this hive. They are calmer. I was out there at this time, and they never even came close to doing anything. They just ignoring that I was even there. Let's go to the next time spot. There I was looking at them, trying to figure out exactly what was going on. And you can see that, again, there's fewer and fewer bees on the front of the hive. This is, again, a few minutes later, probably 10, 15 minutes later, even less bees on the landing board. The beard is smaller, so they're beginning to go back inside. Even less on the bearding, so they're going back inside. So we're going to have one more look at the bearding, just almost completely gone. So we have a problem here. Let's look at the aftermath. We now return you to our regularly scheduled program. Thank you. Meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and go in the corner hive here and see if it's ready to be split, if they didn't swarm, or just kind of where they're at. We're also going to remove the winter stuff and put the flow top back on it and prepare for the spring. And of course, if there's plenty of bees in there, we may go ahead and put the flow super on it as well. As we get ready to do this, we come out here and the bees are still really acting kind of hyper here. Of course, these are kind of docile in this bearding that they're doing. So on both sides, and it's kind of gonna,
when I take the blue vent or visor off, it's going to cause havoc with them, and they're going to have to go somewhere. But based upon what we saw earlier in the day, we've got to go down there and look and see what's going on. So we'll go ahead and get started. First thing we'll do is we'll take the winter box off. I'm going to look at a few of the frames here, and then I'm going to use these handles. I'm going to smoke them, see if that'll get them to move a little bit. They were, in the video that you'll see here, in the other video, you'll see that the whole front end was completely packed with bees, and they were bearding down in front of the landing board when the swarm attempt started. So I don't know if it was a dry run. I've heard that they sometimes do a dry run. I've not experienced that before, but we'll just have to wait and see. So we're going to pull this off and see what happens. See lots of bees there. And we're going to look at a few. I don't know if you will look at this front here, but it's just packed. So we'll look at a few of these frames. We just want to see how full it is and if they've actually filled this up. From the looks of it and the feel of it, they have. Yeah, you can see it's full of honey and some nectar on this side. So I'm not gonna do too much more with this, because we know on these edge frames are usually the last ones they fill. And just looking down in here, they're full. So what we're going to need to do is take this box off. These are nice little handles from Be Smart Designs. Bees are crawling right back up, so we're going to have to kind of hurry and get it. Okay. So we got down here in the same mess that we typically have. Clean up of this. And what I truly expect to see are queen cells or cups. Okay, so I'm going to smoke a little more. Okay, lots of drone brood here, which is not unusual. There's not much nectar in any of the cells there. Okay. You can see decent brood pattern. There's some holes there, but there's nectar in some of those. So we'll look, see for the queen. See a lot of honey right there. Okay, you can see a lot of queen cells, full cells. They're loaded with bees, so are loaded with the larvae, queen larvae in there. So what I want to do is I'm going to go get my hive butler, and we'll build a split out of this. Okay, so we're going to take this frame that has brood and queen cells and put it in the box for the split. So we'll have to replace that frame with an empty frame of foundation. We'll go on a little bit further. These aren't ready for the well, there's some good nectar there. I just don't think they're quite ready for the flow frame, the flow super. There is nectar there, but I just don't think they're ready. It's not as dense as the kitchen hive was, and no queen cells there. Plenty of room here for her to lay. Again, there's plenty of room here. So what we're going to do, we're just going to box this thing back up. I do need to get at least one more frame of bees, and then shake a couple of frames. I'll go ahead and use this one because there are some bees on it. And I'm going to pull this frame here. There's some bees in there, but not a whole lot. From the looks of the population in this, I think we probably did have a swarm. Need to make sure there's the queen's not on here. Still so many bees out there on the front, most of which are probably going to be nurse bees. Make sure. All right. So the next thing to do is just going to box this thing back up. Normally I do more than just 2 frames, but last year with these hives 2 was enough. Plus I'm going to feed them, so that'll hopefully get them going, and this will let them kind of calm down a little bit, and also let them kind of get up on those frames. So again, we're going to smoke them down, hopefully, and then we'll put the flow inner cover. Kind of scoot it along here, and that way they'll move out of the way. I'll have to wait to put that visor back on because there's too many bees right there. So I'm going to put the top on it. Okay, so we're going to take a break here and move these bees on over after they've had a chance to set, and then I'll set up the nuke and then we'll start over. Here we go. Okay, this is a little bit later. We've got the nuke set up here with frames, and then we've got the bees in here. So what we're going to do, we're going to open this up. And move the frames in here. There's going to only be 1 or 2 of those queen cells that are going to be any good, because it looks like the rest of them have already been opened. So we'll just have to wait and see. May not have any luck with this at all, but I wanted to try to get as best I could. So kind of go for there, get the other frame in. Have a feeling we're not going to have much luck here just because of the number of bees that I see, or don't see actually. So I'm sure the comments are going to be, hey, you don't have enough bees in there, and I know that. But there's the only thing I could do at this point. I think so many of the bees were outside, or or they did actually swarm, which I really think they did. So, and somehow I just missed it. So we'll keep you posted on this. Thanks for watching.